Okay, I got something here to show you, and then after you watch this, well, of course I'm going to make some comments as this goes, but let's just go on.
A Kingwood couple says racist bullies have forced them to pull their sons out of class. Now the school is threatening to fine the family $500 a day every day the boys are absent. But they told our Rux Russell they've already paid a higher price.
A Prime member, there's one thing that happens to this.
They're twin brothers, 11 years old, using their Kingwood home as a classroom.
My life is in danger at school. I don't want to go back.
No chance.
No chance.
They refuse to return to Creekwood Middle School, where the boys say they've been bullied because of their Indian heritage. We've hidden them.
Yep, I can believe that. Yep. Being bullied because somebody used their eyeballs to look at them and they didn't look what somebody else thought they should look like because that somebody else was a complete fucking fool and idiot that grew up in a family that, well, you know, and in a world that I almost want to say maybe what we should do in the world is we should stab everybody's eyes out. And we should have a world of blind people. Why a world of blind people? Because then you won't be able to look at somebody with your eyeballs to judge and label somebody that you can do onto somebody that you don't want done onto yourself.
We've hidden their faces to protect their identity.
I was called a terrorist. I was punched in the nose. I was kicked around. They said that I am the son of Osama bin Laden, told me the underwear bomber responsible for 9/11.
It's been going.
There you go. There you go. See, you can see they were sheep. They were little sheeples. Little sheeple bullies. That's right. Who's done no research, knows nothing at all of what they're talking about, just shooting off their mouth with the lies that they've been fed. And bullying somebody else with their dumbness. Okay, with their dumbness, because these kids fucking call them these kids the names that he just said, you know, Osama bin Laden, underwear bomber, terrorist, 9/11. As you can tell, they're little sheeple bullies. That's right,
It's been
sheeps.
going on for a year, but escalated last month.
And then they got a razor and they shaved my eyebrow and they ran away.
The boy's father took this picture immediately after the assault.
At this time, they have.
So to do that, they would have had to have held him, which means there's more than one, because they run on a pack because they're cowards. Okay? You got to have more than one because he might stomp their ass or defend himself, so we got to make sure we outnumber him to overpower him. Isn't that right, chickens?
Time they have shaved his eyebrow, next time they might just stab him in the eye.
There's no
Correct.
question the alleged acts of bullying here have taken a toll on these boys, and little doubt their parents have suffered right along with them. But what upsets the family now more than anything else is the fact that school officials have, in their words, turned a blind eye to their complaints.
Of course they have. Of course they have. This is what schools do the best, is turn their face and look the other way. You know why they do that? Because they're told to by government officials, by politicians and bankers, by the people at the top who run them, because they're on their knees for them, because they're little yellow cowards running your school systems. That's right. They're little they're little slaves who are on their knees for politicians. The politicians tell these schools to turn their backs in situations like this and look the other way. And they're following the orders like the good little serpent slaves they are.
That's why the parents have started to homeschool their kids. But this week, the district sent them a letter warning them of possible fines if the children don't come back to class.
That's right. Warn them of possible fines if they don't come back to class. But there's some doublespeak in this report. I'll get into that in a minute. Listen up and I'll point out the doublespeak.
The school cannot take care of my children. They cannot protect them. At least I can protect my children at home. That's why I'm keeping them here.
District officials claim all bullying allegations are thoroughly investigated. And its spokesperson.
There's the first part of doublespeak, okay? But I don't want you to confuse that, because we've heard that a billion times from schools, that all bullying things are investigated thoroughly, okay? But the problem never goes away, and it's because the school says that to make themselves look good, but in reality, they're on their knees for politicians, okay? Doing as they're told to do. There's nothing wrong with the policies at the school or the system. It's not broke, okay? It's not broke at all. It's doing just exactly what it's designed to do. because these little puppet slaves at the school systems, is what they are doing exactly what they've been told to do by turning their back. Now for the doublespeak is coming up.
And a spokesperson called the warning letter a standard notification required by law, explaining, in this case, the parents have kept their children out of school but have not withdrawn them. The parents need only to formally withdraw their children from school.
Doublespeak, lie. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because that's a doublespeak, that's a lie. Okay, here's what happens. This is how this plays out. They sent them the formal letter saying fines of $500 a day. Now you ask yourself, how can a school fine somebody? This is just a school. Well, because they're controlled by government and courts. That's right. Just like the bullying, the schools are told to turn their backs. That's why this keeps happening over and over across the United States. Time in and time out. Time in and time out. It's happening because the government has told the schools to turn their backs. That's the reason you keep seeing this same stuff repeat itself over and over and over. And the schools will always lie to you and tell you they investigate them thoroughly because they're told to say that. It's called Operation Cover Ass from their own evil wrongdoings. And the people following the orders from the government in the school systems are complete fucking dumb slaves, okay? But here's your doublespeak right in your face, okay? The letter was sent out, said $500 a day. How does the school do that? They said all they had to do is withdraw their kids officially, formally, from school to get out from under that. That's a complete lie. You can go down there and withdraw your kids all you want. The government mandates that you send your children to school. See, okay, they're homeschooling their kids, right? Instead of sending them to school. So now the next step after they withdraw from school is they will have a visit and they will have to produce. They will have to produce and show that they can teach the kids to the government standards of what's being taught in the schools today. And they will still have to follow a curriculum, okay, that the government's decided that you must follow. That's right. In doing homeschooling, they will be encouraged not to homeschool. They'll be checked out to see if they have the ability to homeschool their kids first. That's right. So once they withdraw them, they're going to be investigated to make sure they have the ability to homeschool them. And if they can prove they have the ability to teach their own kids to these corrupt officials who's going to show up at their door, then they will be made to teach the kids the same curriculum that's being taught in the schools. And they will still have to fucking have this stuff sent in to be checked. All these kids' homework and the work they're doing at home, okay? Because they will still be controlled. And if they do not comply with this, then the system will step in and try to take the kids away from them and place them back in school into foster care and back into a public school environment. That's right, and the parents will find themselves in jail. See, that's the doublespeak. That's what they're not telling you here. When you hear this right here, in this case, the parents have kept their children out of school, but have not withdrawn them. The parents need only to formally withdraw their children from the school. No. See, they're not telling you. They're not telling the parents. Basically, they're setting them up. They're not telling you the truth. The government makes it a law that these two kids go to school. That's right, it's a law. And they say they're homeschooling them. But the government don't want just anybody homeschooling their kids. See, once they officially withdraw them, now that will give permission for officials to show up at the door to investigate the parents, to make sure the parents are legitimately able to teach the kids the proper brainwashing material. And then the parents will still have to work with the school system to obtain the books and the school supplies and the courses that are to be taught to their children. They will have to still comply with the system. And if they fail to comply with the system, they will be in jail, being fined, and their kids will be put in foster care, and that's what they're not telling you.
The parents need only to formally withdraw their children from school.
It makes me cry inside that it's happening to both of us.
This lesson shows
Children forced to learn at home just to feel safe. In Kingwood, Rux Russell, KHOU 11 News.
We asked, but school officials would not comment on any specific disciplinary actions that may have been taken because of the age of the children involved. We'll let you know, though, what happens.
Yeah, there was no disciplinary action. No, there was none. That's why they won't comment on it, because there is none. There is going to be none. What you're seeing right here is a classic example of how we treat each other. I think the parents did the right thing, not allowing the kids to go back to school. Why? Because after all, they are boys. They're just exposable, right? We can do whatever we want on other people. We can treat other people any way we want, right? We can bully them. We can poke out their eyes. We can kill them. We can do whatever we want. And the school, of course, will turn its back because it's been told to turn their back. I mean, it's not an accident that you keep seeing school after school, bullying after bullying in the schools. And every last school around the United States keeps making the same statement. They all take it seriously and they all investigate it thoroughly. But it just keeps right on happening and happening and happening. That's because the schools are repeating what the government's told them to repeat. Okay? That's all that's going on here. They're saying what the government's told them to say, and they're doing exactly as the government's told them to do, and turning their backs.